Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Elite Wrestling World. I am your host GhostSaad. Thank you guys for joining me right here for AEW Redemption post-show review. So the pay-per-view card is stacked. We have Kenny Omega defending against Kevin Knight. Also Andrade challenging Mark Davis for the national championship. Bandido challenging Fletcher for the international title. Willow challenging for the women's title against Thekla, and Osprey and Moxley will battle the tag team match against Young Bucks. So plenty to look forward. Let's get dive into it and talk about the pay-per-view. So the pay-per-view started with all the competitors for the ladder match ringside, and the bell sounded and the match started. Everyone delivered in this one as it was absolute chaos to kick off the main show. Everything Bailey did was met with a hero's welcome because of his hometown crowd. So I'd say the right decision was made on who took this. This was filled with holy shit moments, and I hope that these guys are all featured more on AEW television moving forward. I'm so glad that Mortos and Clon are back. Perry is always solid. Komander has proven why he's a highlight, and Wayne always get more of a push when he's on TV. So very happy to see all these guys delivering. We saw crazy spots in this match. Wayne flew in with a crucifix driver position clone on a table ringside before climbing a big ladder and hitting a picture perfect Phoenix splash through it. That looks very brutal. Then we saw Bailey hitting multiple wheel kicks, repositioning a ladder, and placing Mortos on a ladder in the corner where he hit a shooting star press, double knees. Then crowd is behind Bailey and he climbs the ladder and grabs the contract. So again, a very good victory for uh, Mike Bailey in his hometown, and very crazy match to start off the show. Next up is Will Ospreay and John Moxley versus the Young Bucks. The action is a no-brainer. Of course, it ruled, but I thought the storytelling in this match was excellent. Ospreay showed he didn't have the killer instinct Moxley wants in him. The promo a few weeks ago with Moxley telling Ospreay the time will come where he has to pull the trigger. Tonight was the time, but Moxley was very disappointed by Ospreay that he didn't pull the trigger on Nick Jackson's injury during the match, and so Moxley have to tag in and apply the bulldog choke on Nick's neck, and Matt made the save. In the meantime, Ospreay was pulled outside as he threw a super kick. Moxley hit two paradigm shift and a DeathRider before grabbing a chair and wants to finish Nick Jackson. Ospreay took the chair from his hand and ate a super kick in the meanwhile from Matt Jackson. The Bucks regroup, hit the BTE trigger on Moxley, who flipped both off defiant. So the Bucks ramped up a super kick party on Moxley and get the pinfall victory. In the meantime, Osprey laid motionless around the corner. So Bucks gets a great victory in this tag team match. I thought the storytelling was fantastic, and it will be interesting to see moving forward how Moxley responds to this Osprey's not getting the job done. So it's going to be a fantastic story to tell moving forward. Next up is Kyle Fletcher defending the international title against Bandido. This should surprise no one that this was insane and both knocked it out of the park. This was yet another time where Bandido got a single title shot and came up short despite having the Ring of Honor World Championship around his waist. No way should Fletcher have lost here, and there is nothing scarier and more entertaining than a healthy proto start. So again, what a banger of a match between these two. We saw Fletcher wants his avalanche brain buster, got hung up stomach first. Bandido slid out. Michinoku driver. Bandido kicked out. That looks brutal. Fletcher hitting the lawn dart, flying corner kick, avalanche brain buster, and get the pinfall victory. So again, a very brutal and hard hitting match, but a fantastic match, and Kyle Fletcher retains the title. Next up is Bang Bang Gang, Jay White and Juice Robinson versus the Dogs in a double chain match. These four beat the hell out of each other, and that moment where Finley delivered a dominator to White was terrifying. I hope White winds up being okay. The dogs looks fantastic. This was necessary for the dogs to get some revs here, and the dogs attacked before the opening bell even sound. We saw Robinson and Connors and White and Finley are chained by their wrist respectively throughout the match. White looked for the Blade Runner early but was pulled away by Finley long enough for Connors to hit a spear. White wrapped the chain around Finley's throat and hit a cutthroat suplex. He and Robinson whipped the hell out of Finley with the chain. In the meanwhile, we see Garcia and Villarreal hit ringside, pulling White to the outside and hit a leg sweep, Poisiconi combo. Bang Bang Gang sprinted out for helping their partners. Marina Shafir snuck in and handled Finley with shillelagh as Robinson charged and ate a short flush to the face to give Finley the pinfall victory. So again, dogs get the necessary victory, and this is far from over between these two factions. Backstage, we saw Renee with Will Ospreay brings up the condition of Nick Jackson. Ospreay brings up Nick having the history of head trauma. Moxley walks in. As Ospreay said, he is not trying to kill anyone. Moxley says it's tough way to make a living. Welcome to pro wrestling. It's not about tonight. They will win the next one, but it's about Wembley. Ospreay has one chance to ride that wave. Open your eyes. Moxley doesn't want to be there when Ospreay learns this lesson the hard way in the main event, so Ospreay won't pull the trigger. Moxley will. So the story continues. Moxley trying to get Will Ospreay in a frame of mind that he needs to pull the trigger no matter what in the main event of All In. So interesting story moving forward. Next up is Hikaru Shida versus Maya Ward for the TBS title. This was fun and the match was fantastic. Both ladies wasted no time slugging it out. Shida fired off a high knee, sending Maya Ward reeling outside. We saw discus forearm drop Shida as World connects with the Shining Wizard. Falconado by Shida. World escaped both right hands. We saw World got a rope break when Shida hit the Falconado for a close near fall. Shida couldn't believe it, grabbed Turner by the shirt. In the meanwhile, bridging fallaway slam by Maya World and the shock pin, and Maya World wins the TBS title to the shock of the crowd. That was a fantastic birthday gift for Maya World to pull off the upset, and very much happy for Maya World getting the TBS title here. So again, a very good victory for Maya World, your new TBS champion. Next up is Copen Cage versus the DeathRiders, Claudio and Pac for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Claudio and Pac attacked Copeland during his entrance. Before the fans could sing along, Copeland Pac dropped out of a neutralizer. Claudio landed on his feet and both got ahead of a steam, colliding with the double clothesline. We saw Cage answered with a suplex. Pac made the blind tag and flew off the top with an elbow drop by two locomotion corner attacks from DeathRiders until Copeland and Cage responded with the multiple spears and a pop-up spear to Pac by Copeland and gets the pinfall victory. So again, very good match and very good title defense by the tag champions. Post-match, we saw the Bucks came out to the ring and pointed to the tag titles, and we get the graphic of the match as well. It's gonna be Copen Cage versus the Bucks for the tag titles at All In. It's official. It's gonna be a dream match at All In, and pretty much looking forward to that match as well. And it's gonna be a fantastic build moving towards All In, and it's gonna be a dream match for the fans in UK as well. Pretty much looking forward to the match as well. Next up is the Painmaker Chris Jericho versus the Psycho Killer Tommaso Ciampa in a no holds barred match. I know this was no holds barred, so of course this was going to be violent, but this exceeded even my expectations, and we got Jericho's most violent match arguably of his career. This was insane. I don't know how else to say this officially. ended aside from attempted murder. I'm not sure if we get a rubber match from this or not, but I can only assume we aren't done yet. Then again, maybe they are. How can they follow this up? This was fantastic. Jericho went to stab at Champa again, who hit a low blow. Doctor checked on Jericho, and Montreal started chanting, "This is murder." That was fantastic to watch. Jericho brought out another mirror. This was covered with barbed wire, smashed it on Ciampa's head. At the end, we saw Jericho grab the drill and was appeared to use it briefly on the forehead. And this has referee Aubrey Edwards to call the match off, and Ciampa forfeit the match. So Painmaker Chris Jericho gets a needed victory against Tommaso Ciampa. This was brutal and violent in the meanwhile as well. So very good victory for Jericho, and should be interesting to see what these two will do next. Next up is Mark Davis versus Andrade for the national title. Andrade makes his entrance with a new theme song and multiple ladies at his side. Andrade countered the pile driver into Hurricane Rana. We saw Andrade up top again for his second try of moonsault before pulling his breeches off to pop the crowd. Taz says he needs pants with the gimmick as it took him forever to get them off. Davis got his knees up for a frog splash. Andrade was up and smoked Davis with the spinning back elbow and the DM for the pinfall victory and getting the national title as well. So very happy to see Andrade getting that first title in AEW, the new national champion Andrade El Ídolo. We saw Backstage Speedball calling out his shot. He's gonna challenge Fletcher for the international title at Grand Slam Mexico August 5th. It's official. It's gonna be a fantastic match for the Grand Slam Mexico show. Next up is Thekla versus Willow for the women's title. I can't believe this was only the second singles match between these two ladies. These two worked incredibly well with each other, and aside from the brief interference spot, I thought this was an excellent match, one of the best of the year in the women's division. All roads leads to All in Wembley main event now. Mercedes is watching, I assume, in the sword in the crowd. Thekla tried a spear but leapt right into a gut wrench power bomb as Willow made the cover, but Sky Blue appeared and put Thekla foot on the ropes. We saw Nightingale squashed Blue ringside, rolled into the ring to Thekla's spear. Curb stop by Thekla, missed Nightingale, got a backslide for a flash pin and getting the title. Conglomeration came to the ring and celebrated with Willow. Monet hold up her oven belt, and we get the match graphic for All In. It's gonna be Willow versus Mercedes for the women's title at All In. And in the main event, Kenny Omega defending the world title against Kevin Knight. Kevin Knight delivered in his first pay-per-view main event. This was a fantastic performance by Kevin Knight. He attacked Omega during the introductions and choking him out with the wrist tape. Omega floats over in the corner into a snap Hurricane Rana. We saw Knight control the action back inside as Omega missed a senton and Knight connected with the leaping splash for a 2. Omega mounted a comeback, hit the first part of You Can't Escape, but Knight got the knees up on the moonsault portion. Omega hitting the knee to the face. That was flush on the face. Omega with the Foley-esque pulling pile driver for a 2. Sunset bomb, then hitting high stack power bomb and a V trigger for a great near fall as well. Omega was trapped in the ropes and Kevin Knight hitting coast to coast to the shoulder. That looks brutal. We saw Knight distracting referee, getting the world and TNT title, and referee was distracted, and on the TNT title bell Omega was planted with the crash landing, and that was a very close near fall. Knight quickly upped for the UFO. Omega got the knees up, flipped out of a one-winged angel, tried to hit a leaping clothesline but was hit with a V trigger in midair. and then the one-winged angel for the pinfall victory, and Omega retaining the title in a very good main event. Post match, we saw DeathRiders attacking Omega. Bucks came out to make the save. We saw Claudio wrapping the Omega's neck with the chair. Will Ospreay spins out to save Omega. Moxley comes in and tries to tell Ospreay to pull the trigger. Gets the chair from his hand and hanging him the plastic bag they have used in past to choke out Bryan Danielson. Ospreay was going to do the choke out to Omega with the plastic bag, but he rips it apart, slowly turns back to Moxley and popped him with the forearm. All the DeathRiders attacked Ospreay, but he clears the ring, taking out all of them. Park with the hidden blade as well. So Moxley restrained Claudio from going in with the chair as Taz questioned this is how Ospreay treats DeathRiders for all they have done for him. Ospreay throws away the knee pad he wore for the DeathRiders. In the meanwhile, Ospreay holds out the world title and went to take it, and this was a brief resistance from Ospreay before they both shook hands, Omega and Ospreay as well. Both pose at the separate corners, and all in main event is all but set. As we think the show is about to end, Omega instead spikes Ospreay with the one-winged angel and looks at the plastic bag. Bucks gets in to talk to Omega, who holds the world title high in the air, as Matt and Nick Jackson poses with Omega in the middle to end the show. Doctors was checking on Ospreay as he poses on the top of the ramp. So Omega thinks Ospreay was going to choke him out with the plastic bag, and then in the end he hit the one-winged agent on Ospreay because of that. So the story is now in full motion. Ospreay saves Omega from the DeathRiders, but Omega thinks that Ospreay tries to choke him out with the plastic bag. So it's going to be a fantastic build moving forward in the main event of All in Wembley Stadium. This was a fantastic show. The story of Omega and Ospreay is in full swing, and it's going to be fantastic TV moving forward for the build of All In. So that's the end of the show, folks. Please guys, like and share this video, subscribe to my channel, and keep watching Elite Wrestling World.